Welcome to BSN Made Easy. We'll be discussing TPR sheets for dummies. The objectives of this video. At the end of the video, the viewer must identify different parts of a TPR sheet, enumerate colors used for different vital signs and shifts, and demonstrate how to properly use a TPR sheet. Hi, now that you've learned how to take your vital signs, you should also learn how to record them. Vital signs taking is one of the foundations for effective healthcare. It serves as a guide and basis for identification, prioritization, and delivery of healthcare. For efficiency, the TPR sheets are used to provide a quick visual diagram of the variations in your client's vital signs. This is especially useful in chronic care facilities. Aside from patient identifiers, a common TPR sheet contains tables for temperature, respiration rate, pulse rate, and some other pertinent information which might include but is not limited to blood pressure, urine output, bowel movement, and oxygen saturation. There is no one correct format for TPR sheets as it varies from one facility to another. Now let's start identifying the parts of your TPR sheet, starting with the space intended for the name of your patient, his attending physician, and his room number. Always make sure that the information written on these spaces are accurate and free of errors. Also, be sure to write the date in the spaces below. If you could notice, this TPR sheet allows up to 4 days of data to be plotted on it. Also, this TPR sheet is intended for 12-hour shifts. Here you can see the AM shift and the PM shift. As you can see here, I'll be marking the whole 24 hours for a single day. Information within the red box covers for all vital signs taken from 4 a.m. up to 12 midnight of a single day. At the bottom part of our TPR sheet, you'd notice spaces intended for urine output and bowel movement, and these are represented by letters U and S respectively. Monitoring of urine output and bowel movement is divided into 3 shifts: 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. of the following day. Now let's start plotting. When starting with an empty TPR sheet, make sure to write the name of your patient, the doctor, and the room number. Write the dates below for when you'd be providing care for your client. Here you can see I'm writing March 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do note that each vital sign is color-coded, and here is the most commonly used colors for each vital sign. We have black for our respiratory rate, red for our pulse rate, and blue for the temperature. Now let's work with some examples. Let's say Mrs. Diaz was admitted in your ward at around 7:50 a.m. and her vital signs are as follows: BP 140/90, pulse rate 94, RR 22, temperature 36.2. Here you can see it. I wrote the BP as black, 140/90, and circled 20 for the RR as black. Also, the pulse rate is encircled in red and temperature in blue. If you've noticed, the encircled numbers are our normal values. So here I am plotting 36.2 for the temperature, to be followed by our pulse rate under 94, and our respiratory rate for 22 cycles per minute. Now let's try plotting Mrs. Diaz's vital signs for 12 o'clock. Here you've taken blood pressure for Ms. Diaz as 130/90, pulse rate 88, RR 20, and temperature as 36.4. I'm still using black ink for the blood pressure because it's still the morning shift. Once I've already endorsed Mrs. Diaz to the afternoon shift, they'll be using blue ink to record the blood pressure and all other pertinent data below, like the urine output and bowel movement. Now let's start plotting the 12 o'clock vital signs of Mrs. Diaz. Alright, we're done. Do you have any questions so far? Great. Now let's proceed to the urine output and bowel movement. Urine output and bowel movement is usually monitored every 8 hours. And color coding depends on what shift you would be in. For AM or 6 to 2, you'd be using black. For 2 to 10 or PM shift, use blue. And for night shift or 10 PM to 6 AM, use red ink. So here, Mrs. Diaz has had 300 cc of urine output in the morning and 1 bowel movement, written in black. In the PM shift, she's had 500 cc of urine output and no bowel movement. And for night shift, she's had 500 cc of urine output and 1 bowel movement. Always remember to sign your initial after every recording of any data. That's it for TPR plotting and recording. See you next time. Bye!